Oh my god, we're live? Hello, everyone. What is up? So, basically today, some plans got shifted, and I have a recording in, like, 5 hours. And I don't really have, like, anything I can work on or anything I really particularly want to do for like the next 5 hours. I'm just kind of killing time until the recording starts for that video. So I was sitting here, I'm like, I haven't done anything for like 50k because by the way, if you're one of the 5 people from this that have found this channel from just the interviews and not like from Dunderheads, yes, obviously this channel doesn't have 50k. It's the other channel, but no, I was just trying to find some time to kill to the recording, and was like, fuck it. I mean, might as well like do something for it, just kind of like on my own to talk to people about it, because we'll probably end up doing a group Q&A sometime with like the whole crew. But this gives me a time to, I guess, maybe answer editing questions, or you know, the process of editing some videos and stuff like that. General stuff like that mainly I could probably go in depth about. Watch some old videos, you know, talk about the recording process of things. Was thinking about, you know, if enough people wanted, we could go through some Hunger Games and I can talk about like my thought process through some of them, and just general stuff like that. But yes, hello everyone. Thank you all for being here. So let me go and look at chat. What did you do after high school? Did you try college, or went straight to jobs, or what? I pretty much immediately went to college. To be quite frank, I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I went for computer science because I knew I wanted to make games, but I actually like going for computer science. I did not where I went to college, I did not enjoy computer science that much. I've learned more that I enjoy more the creative aspect of like game design than I do the actual technical parts. For like, I don't really enjoy coding. I know the basics of it. I know how to do like certain languages, but yeah. I'd say, well, no certain languages is a bit of a jump. I know how to code basics in certain languages. You know, I'm not a master of any, or fluent, really, in any. The ones I know best are, unfortunately, Java, and I know... I can read and understand GML script thanks to working with Jack, and most of our games are recorded in Game Maker coded in Game Maker Studio. But yeah, I did drop out of college, like, start of this year for YouTube. Do you guys still enjoy the games you play? Something I run, something I see with YouTubers is that they lose enjoyment from playing video games when they play video games to do YouTube videos. Let me think about how to answer this. Like, Skyrim has become a game that I would not play in my free time, you know, because of YouTube. I can still have fun with it, like, because we do such crazy things. But, you know, I think that pretty much, that answers it pretty much. Like, I can have fun with it during video recordings. I would never touch the game without recording now, at this point, you know, like, that's kind of... whenever I boot up Skyrim, it's more equivalent to clocking into a job you enjoy than it is playing a game. You know, that's how opening Skyrim is for me, at this point in time. If you could add a new member or energy to the Dunderheads, what diversity would you like to see in your future? Fuck, dude. I don't know when we'd ever add another member, just, you know, trying to pay the ones that we have now. But adding another member, So I feel like we're pretty diverse, actually, in, like, the personality types that we have in, you know, Dunderheads. Like, Richard's kind of like the loose I'm trying to think, like, logically here. Richard's kind of like the loose cannon freak. You know, he's kind of freaky. Cole's the logical one. Jack just says what's on his mind. He's very, he's like the class clown. Sarah is kind of like a mix of a few of us in regards to... No, I'm not stinky and smelly and stinky. No, Cole, don't say that. Sarah's definitely like a mix of a few of us, because they have some, like, leadership qualities that I bring, but also has the same humor as Jack, which is, they're very diverse. John is the funny friend who's not very good at the games we play, but he's silly. I think that John's very innately funny in that sense. And I just sort of orchestrate most of the things, so that's sort of my viewpoint. So I guess, like, I don't know. I don't think that there's anyone I'd add right now in a genuine, like, answer. I don't think that there's, like, an energy I'm looking for. What's your favorite part of making videos? Favorite part of... I mean, I like being creative. It also depends, like... My favorite kind of videos to make are... Like, my favorite video that we've ever made is the Choose Your Own Adventure. Because I like being creative in making, like, original stories and stuff like that. That's what... I like doing YouTube. I'd hope to... My PC is smelly. Thank you for the 5, by the way, Malaysias. This channel, I do not have anything that comes on screen for donations, but I will be sure to to read the donations. Thank you so much for the 5. Where was I? Oh, yeah, I mean, that's my favorite things to do. Like, I like doing YouTube, but I would like, you know, dream scenario to be in a position where eventually I'm able to focus more on, like, creative endeavors and, like, making big scale projects. And I've talked to Sarah about this too, because Sarah's the other editor, that I'd be totally fine if we got to a point where we're making enough money that Sarah would kind of man the what videos we're doing and stuff like that, and then I would just kind of appear to, you know, record with everyone and then focus the rest of my creative endeavors on creating, like, original stuff. But yeah, but in terms of actual, like, gameplay videos, I like making stories out of them. Like, Hunger Games, definitely one of my favorites, like, I'm most proud of. You know, Manhunt. I find myself, I work best whenever the video I'm working on has, like, a story that I need to tell. So, that's definitely probably my favorite. What was your favorite Manhunt other than the first or last? Well, if it's not including those, my favorite is the last one. But of not the first and last, I gotta go to Manhunt, hold on. I actually have to look at this. I just, like, go to the big. It's not these 3. Special place in my heart for this one, because this one's our most popular. This one as well, special place, because it's literally what put us on the map. I don't know, it's probably this one. Like, this is the best climax, and that's what I base my favorites off of. So, I probably 300's rematch. I think that's my favorite. Anyway, my PC specs, I'm gonna keep it a sec. I could not tell you off the top of my head because it's been a while. Jack was the one that mainly helped me build it. So, I just kind of bought stuff that Jack told me to, which included a really big curved monitor because he said he was going to punch me in the face if I didn't have a curved monitor. So, yeah. As a counter to that, what's your least favorite manhunt? Easy question. I don't like Five Hunters rematch. I actually like, I like all of Manhunt. I don't like Five Hunters rematch. Because that has, I was struggling really hard to find strategies that work, you know? And so because of that, I think that what I came up with in that episode is really, really lame. Like the final strategy I did of just like going ethereal and then using lightning storm or whatever. Does your Opera GX browser say dingle when you type? No, because my ears could not handle that. I think that's really cool, you know, like that you made that, but like holy shit, dude, I cannot hear that the whole time. What's your favorite but unpopular random video you've done? I'm thinking along the lines of chicken, race, hide and seek, etc.
In this video,
well, my favorite video currently on the channel ever is actually Skyrim, but it's Fall Guys. That was really fun to record with everyone. I think that is the most fun I've ever had recording a Skyrim video. And yeah, I'd say that's definitely my favorite. But of older ones, like, you know, I've said before with Jack and Cole, I have a very special place for the Skyrim Christmas Challenge. This has so much charm to me. I love this video so much. Like the race video, great. I liked that video a lot. That was fun. Yeah. I mean, that answers that pretty well. I think I covered most of the bases there. Yeah, that was the one that I found the exploit live. Sorry, I pulled up the fucking... meant to pull it up over here. There we go. Am I able to? The Christmas challenge was epic. Dude, it was cinema. The ho-ho became increasingly obnoxious. Yeah, no, dude, I loved that one, actually. So here's a question for you guys. I'm gonna go and put up in a poll. You know, before I actually put up in a poll, so I was thinking that something we could do today is go through some videos that I've edited, you know, and I can watch through it, talk about like either my mindset during the recording of it, what it was like editing it, like answering any questions along that front. So if you guys, if we want to do that, what are some videos that you guys would like to see me talk about in particular? And I can go ahead and put up a poll, and whatever wins, we'll go ahead and I doubt I'll watch it the whole thing, like beginning to end. I'll probably skim through parts because our videos are fucking long, but I'll generally go through and talk about like the process of making it and answer any questions about the specific video. So yeah, I got the poll thing set up. What video would you like? Wow, can I type to go through? So yeah, what videos would you like to go through and see? All ears. All right, that's fine. I'll put that up. That's an old one. Bear with me, everyone. I'm gonna put some sick. I hope you enjoyed this text on screen real quick. I gotta go piss. I'm a professional content creator, by the way, guys. Alright. Alright. I'll be right back. You guys go ahead and think about those fucking videos. Alright, what's up, gang? I'm sure that you missed me. Alright, I'm back from piss maxing. Alright. Alright. I saw that, yeah, I needed a mod Cole, so I'll go and do that real quick. Add as moderator. There you go. Enjoy. Alright. I'm gonna go and just throw up a bunch of random fucking videos. Oh, we got that. I'm not gonna put Manhunt on the list because we did a whole fucking 4-part like series, not 4-part series, but like 2-part stream series talking about that. Also did a whole fucking stream talking about the creation of this. Also, I don't need BRB on pissing anymore. I left that on screen. Fuck it. Then we'll put... Yeah. Okay, that's not a bad one to have. Alright. There's some good options to start with. There we go. I gotta respond to a Discord message about a video. I'm very professional, guys. Alright. What would you say is your least favorite part of making videos? Putting the fucking heads in the corner. No contest. Putting the fucking icons in the top left corner. Oh my god, it sometimes takes a day. And that's not an exaggeration. Because I have to, like, fucking copy paste the background, the head, and the text, put it over that person's, like, video layer, and then, you know, copy it, and then I gotta size it. It's so meticulous and annoying. And I think it's a good thing to have, so that way people know whose perspective is whose, right? But holy shit, is it the most unbearable thing to edit, like, genuinely. Okay, so Hunger Games wins. Alright. If you guys were a boy band, what boy band archetype would you be? Fuck, man. I don't know. I don't know many... Fucking... boy bands. Boy band archetypes. You know what? This is which one we'd all be or who I'd be. Sorry. Oh, would I be? Fuck. We're gonna say I'm the fucking, according to this AI overview, there's the sweet one, slash the heartthrob, the bad boy, the cute one, the older brother, and the shy one. I'm gonna give myself the fucking... I'm gonna give myself the older brother. That's what we're gonna do. That's me. You went to pee, I got bored. Alright, fair enough. Alright, so let me go ahead and... So, we can go ahead and start... I actually don't need this one up. We can start with... Let me turn this music off. Start with the first, Skyrim Hunger Games, and I'll talk about it a bit. I've actually wanted, in a stream format, to kind of talk about my thought process during these, genuinely. 'Cause... there's a lot of, like, especially for me, at least specifically, there's a lot that goes in mentally to, like, doing Skyrim Hunger Games, and I think it's an interesting thing to talk about. If there's one series you could bring back from before y'all blew up, what would it be? Personally, I vote for the Jack/Cole Nintendo streams and the Why Blink is an Amazing Villain series. Before we blew up, if there was, like, any old series I wish, blew up and we could do, like, as videos still, unironically, this is my favorite pre-blow up video. Baldur's Gate is going to kill our friendship. I think it holds up. I think it's funny, and I like it. You know, I think that's I have very fond thoughts on this. I wish that we were able to make a full series out of this, because I think doing honor mode is very... other people have done it. That's why I know it didn't do well. You know, the thumbnail is not fantastic. You know, I'm not faultless, but yeah. Honestly, seeing Spiff's viewpoint of the final Hunger Games kind of changed how I view them. Interesting. But so we'll start off with the first one. Right. I'm gonna mute it. Just fuck it. Yeah, I'll keep the music going. I'm gonna mute it. I'm gonna be honest. And just kind of talk about the viewpoint. Sarah edited the intro, obviously. Now that this is full screen, I actually think I can do this. Beautiful. What's stopping you? It was peak. It just didn't do very well. So, big thing here, right? First off at the start. Also, it's wild because that's my worst mic.
Before I explain the rules, huge thank you to Willow, Zeke, Court, Just Meegs, Edge Omega, K-Man from Difficult Gamers, and That's Cool Dude for being in this video.
So, for the first group of people that... There's, like, a strategy, dude. Because with finding other creators, because especially at the time of making this video, I think we had... I don't know how many subscribers we had, but we were smaller than everyone else in this video, besides I think 2 people. And it genuinely was like gremlin mode, hunched over, scrolling through Skyrim challenge videos, sending an email or a Discord message, and then praying to the gods that someone responded. Super, thankful that everyone that made this event, was down to do something, especially whenever we were so much smaller at the time. Now, thanks to you guys being awesome, we're in the same league as, everyone else in this video. But yeah, it's funny because we did something similar. We did a Worms tournament a long time ago with a bunch of creators as well. That's where we met K-Man. Everyone else, I met through like hunching over and emailing a shitload of people praying for a response, but I did meet K-Man before everyone else, doing a Worms tournament a year or 2 prior to this. So yeah, I found you all from Spiff's viewpoint and just vibed. Sick. I'm glad. Yeah. I was very thankful that the Spiffing Brit was down to do that Hunger Games.
Now, on to the rules of the As you'd expect, we will all be starting off with absolutely no equipment while standing in a
I also, this is basic rules, but like, I also almost, I'm gonna just mute this little playthrough while I'm talking because I'm gonna be doing this a lot. I almost didn't compete in this because I was concerned that if I had won, that it would, because this was an event I wanted to be a part of, but I was really concerned about if I won, how bad that would look as the person hosting it, And that's something that I do have to think about whenever I compete in these now. Like, I'm half tempted. I've been thinking about not competing in the next one because if I were to win it, and I don't want to do it if I don't have the intent of trying to win, because I think that takes away from a lot of the entertainment, is like someone going, I actually didn't want to try that hard. Is because the point of it is it's like, oh, okay, these guys are like putting in their effort and their knowledge to try and win. So, that's something I think about. But then I went on the other end, especially for this manhunt, not manhunt, this Hunger Games in particular. I was incredibly stressed recording it. There's gonna be a next one. Oops, you caught me. I actually did not realize I just leaked that. But yeah, there's gonna be another one. It's not gonna have the same rules. We've exhausted the rule set of this version of Hunger Games to its fucking fullest. But sorry, before I keep talking, actually, hold on. But no, then I went on the other end of this, and the other end of the spectrum, and I felt very, very pressured to compete in this because at the time we were just getting somewhere, right? And I felt heavily under the impression that because we were blowing up for Manhunt, so I felt a lot of pressure to do well, because a lot of like what I felt was like part of the brand almost was me being good at Skyrim, which made me really, really anxious and nervous to do bad, because I felt like a lot of people might, lose interest in the channel just from that alone. Because we were new. I know that's not the case now, but I was very, very stressed out with trying to do well. I didn't sleep the night before this whenever I was plotting, because I was genuinely terrified that if I performed badly, I was gonna look like a bad, like really bad, And I was in my own head about how I had to perform well, otherwise, the channel was gonna feel pain, from I was a fraud. It's not that deep, I know that now, but I was locked in. I was really locked in. I did, admittedly, I definitely try-harded, right? Like, there were people there that were there to have fun. I was there in a desperation to kind of improve the Skyrim expert title, which, again, it's not that deep. Sorry. I said on stream that at some point I wanted to make a Dunderheads follower mod when I have the time and resources. And I was wondering if you guys would be willing to do some voice lines for it. 100%. I'd do voice lines for a follower mod. Like I said, I actually really, really badly want to make a Vanheim follower mod, like a full Vanheim follower mod. And I don't have the knowledge to do that myself or the time. So, you know, if anyone is also down to help out with that, that'd be sick. But no, if you want to make Dunderhead followers, like if just each of the Dunderheads, genuinely DM me, you know, say that you are who you are, and I'm willing to record voice lines for you. Sorry, I'm looking at some messages because I missed a lot. You can tell you're stressed, but it kind of adds some spice, so to speak, to your POV. No, that's fair. That's fair. Personally, if someone makes one mistake, I just take the bus and leave, obviously. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, the way you sold yourself in the Hunger Games as a newbie, I didn't realize you were the one running it, or that you had the pressure on yourself. It was like a dark horse that came up and emerged. No, well, especially because I didn't realize how much help or how much of an advantage it was in like playing so much Skyrim multiplayer beforehand and knowing what works and what doesn't, what's busted and what's not. Because I genuinely do think every other Skyrim YouTuber that walks on this platform knows more about Skyrim than I do. Like, just point blank knows more about how, like, the fun facts about the game, how it functions, especially if it has to do with, like, Anniversary. Because like I said, most of my knowledge comes from playing the game a shitload in elementary school, you know?
Yeah, baby.
But no, so that was...
Alright, my plan? I'm gonna get the Staff of Paralysis.
Also, something if this is the right episode, I remember doing a lot, which I think was funny, because K-Man was kind of the crisis of this episode, where he didn't play as much Skyrim as everyone else. I remember using K-Man's, like, funny,
That doesn't look like an NPC.
like, just kind of funny moments to be like the transition or buffer between things that were like seriously happening or like fights that would happen and stuff like that, like between other people's team povs and stuff like that. I could totally imagine a dialogue option asking Christian Follower if he's a furry and him just cutting you off before you can finish the question with a no, then a scripted kill command on the player. That's really funny. My husband and I discussed that a lot, and we are super Juve and Jabo followers. Sorry, wow. And we were super impressed. Yeah. Was this the one where K-Man questioned if he was dead, or is that two? I think that's this one. I think that he's in...
We make this a dual heist mission. Get in, get out, it's clean.
I think that's...
a really good idea. But there can be only one, you know that, right?
Hold on. I actually think that's this. I think it's right here. I think I saw it. I got an ad? No, actually, yeah. Woo, I love a few pennies. Let's go.
I know.
I wonder what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, it's this.
Out in their own little chats. I wonder if anyone's dead. I wonder if I'm dead.
K-Man was such a real one, dude. Like, this video in particular, like, K-Man saved me with, like, having moments like that that gave me opportunities to switch between other perspectives. Because that's the hardest part, you know, is figuring a good time to swap between people and it feeling genuine. Hunger Games are the hardest things I've ever edited. All of them, point blank. There's nothing harder than editing a Hunger Games. It takes like years off my life. It's wow. Sorry, not paying attention much. My brother was playing hockey. I think he just scored a goal. It was hard to tell because everyone's bunched up. Well, I hope he scored the goal. I wish him luck, you know. I don't have the resources for it right now, but I'd love to do a Dunderheads follower mod at some point, and I would love to do a Vanheim follower mod as well. Sick. Yeah, no. Whenever you have the time, just hit me up. Seriously. Loved having that came in Crisis Pop. It felt like it. Wow. I can't read. I think it really felt like what I would do if I were playing in the Hunger Games. Yeah, it
Yeah.
it's nice to have that diversity. I mean, I know Crisis's victory. It was insane watching it, like from the editing perspective, just genuinely seeing him stumble into the perfect build for that climax. It was impressive, honestly. Seeing that come out the way it did, it was a very good climax and finale, and it was a well earned victory from Crisis. Genuinely. Honestly, I think I've said most of what that can be said about this first one, unless anyone has any questions about like specific people, interactions I had with them or whatnot. One thing I can say left is my personal favorite, like, climax is the first one from a storytelling perspective, because the second one, it devolved into just like a fist fight and seeing who dies first. The third one, it devolved into a race because we were so powerful. The first Hunger Games is the only Hunger Games that has like an actual, like, the two builds that the two people have functionally going against each other and fighting until the end. But no, Court did fantastic in this as well. I low-key hope Court wins the next one, because he deserves it. Like, unironically, Court needs to win one. Because he's gotten second place in every single one. That takes skill. That man's crazy. That's, like, unironically really impressive from Court. So, let me go and look at chat for a second. I know this is a topic change, but what are your thoughts on Morrowind multiplayer? We'll do it at some point. I haven't actually looked at it super heavily. I know that it apparently functions really well, but we'll probably do it for a live stream at some point for sure. I keep saying that. It's just that there's like, it's just figuring out, when to do it, and actually doing it, But yeah, we'll do that at some point. Court just going full send on you after beating him in the first Hunger Games was funny. I was kind of expecting you to just get totally jumped in one of these. The second one, like, 4 people's like entire game plans was kill me first, which was really funny. Which I think is also funny that I think everyone whose game plan was to kill me first turned into... Alright, yeah, I've said everything there is to say about this one. Turned into an alliance, I think. Yeah, I think everyone whose plan was to kill me was turned into an alliance besides That's Cool Dude, who joined in on the kill Christian train. Of the group, who would you like to team up with and why? If you mean in Hunger Games, I'm gonna assume. I would say... I'm actually gonna mute this again, just let the game play, because there's things I can definitely say about the second one. If it was a Hunger Games and I had to team up with anyone in Dunderheads as my partner, I think I'd team up with Cole, because he, like, Cole or Sarah. I think I'm leaning towards Cole, because I know that he has played the other most amount of Skyrim, so that would be helpful, and his general performance in Manhunts kind of shows that he would be a good person to team up with. Court really does deserve a win for real. No, seriously, like, yeah. Oh yeah, this is the one whenever we... why'd I give him that color? I hate myself for that. I could have given him the red and yellow. Fuck, I gave him this, like, orange that doesn't fit his profile picture at all. What was I fucking smoking? Alright, whatever, pass Christian. Yeah, no, by the way, so, for anyone who wants a history lesson, us meeting Juve was basically... I'm trying to remember the exact steps, but I remember we were streaming one day, and it was whenever we were streaming just our regular playthrough of Skyrim multiplayer, like all the quest lines. And someone messaged like, "Hey, by the way, Juve mentioned that he knows of your channel, I think." And there's this really old VOD, now it's old, VOD on Juve's channel of him saying like, "Yeah, there was this channel I found that does nothing but Skyrim multiplayer. I think that's cool, but like, I can't remember the name." And then through his comments on that VOD, I think it was that VOD, it was one of his VODs, I messaged him, inviting him to do the Hunger Games, in which he responded there through the comments. And then I think we met up through Discord from there. I know I didn't email him. I think it was through the comments that I first met Juve. I think it was the one where you decimated Meegs and he was like, "What the fuck just happened?" Dude, it was so disgusting there. I kind of, I actually felt bad afterward. Especially when I found out it was going to be a werewolf. That would have been a sick thing to do in the climax. Second. Rich would be a good choice because he's just tenacious. Yeah, I mean, he's very tenacious. He doesn't know, like, if there was someone that I needed to, like, hound dog the enemy, then yeah, like, Richard's the fucking pick. But I don't think that he thinks, like, he knows strategically what's best in, like, a PvP setting as much. He would just kind of do, I guess it wouldn't be horrible because he would just do whatever I told him to, but, you know, yeah. The orange actually does fit Juve's theme to BH. Hey, you know, alright then. Sorry, I'm drinking water. Yeah, they're still chasing me here. Is there anything in particular to talk about? Oh, I loved me and Court teaming up in this. I thought that was really cool. In terms of, like, a storytelling perspective, having, like, the two finalists of the previous one work together. I really liked that. Yeah. I didn't really talk that much to Juve during this recording. I didn't really get to know him that well until the next Hunger Games, where we teamed up, and, you know, now I've talked to him a bit more. Looking through of things in particular that are worth mentioning. Oh yeah, wait, hold on. This is a good point in contention. Yeah, so some people messaged earlier about the team thing, like not wanting teams to be allowed. The next Hunger Games we do, what we plan on doing to rectify that, because a lot of people aren't fans of how we do the teaming thing, is we're gonna probably do a duos, you know, Hunger Games, and it would be just you're assigned a teammate and you can't add any more to that, you know. That would be how that would go. And I think that'd be a fun way to change the rules a bit, and also fix teams of like 6 happening. Though I did think the 5v6 team up at the end of the third Hunger Games was pretty fun. Like, I think that was sick. From like a cinematic perspective, having like the 2 massive teams there. Juve almost getting the drop on Court, and that's cool, dude, was great. No, dude, like, I cut out so much of that, but like it was like after that specific scene, it was like 5 minutes of Juve and I like sucking ourselves off for how cool that was. I couldn't add all 5 minutes of that because it would get fucking pretentious real quick, but it did turn into us going like, dude, that was fucking sick. God, that was so cool. And we were just like fucking around with that. Yeah, no, that was fun. I liked that a lot. Very important question. We say hi to my cat Opal. Hello, Opal. Aries cat. But on the lines of this one, I mean, I pretty much said what I could have said earlier. Oh yeah, Court had the crazy fucking kill streak here. Absolutely insane kill streak here. With these guys and then killing fucking... I'm trying, well, Edge Omega and... he didn't kill Juve, but he started that battle, and we just kind of stood there until Crisis appeared and shook everything up. Yeah. But no, like I said, it's a fun climax, well-deserved win from Crisis. I'm disappointed that it ends up turning into a punch-off because they're unable to kill each other. Which is also part of why I jumped off of the building, or jumped off the mountain, is because Jesus, I forgot about you shook his fucking mouse. Was incapable of dying, unless I, like, completely stood still. So I just, you know, for dramatic effect, jumped off the fucking mountain. Because I wasn't going to win either. I couldn't deal damage to them enough to kill them, so it's just, I wanted to leave it to their own, like, vices there. But now we gotta talk about, you know, since we're on the Hunger Games train, talk about Hunger Games 3. You want to talk about stress? I was more stressed out for the third one than I was the first. Okay? Because the fucking spiffing Brit was there. And I was equally worried about winning. It being a bad thing winning 2 of my 3 events. But also, Spiffing Brit's the only other person that has done a Skyrim manhunt. And I felt like a very strong desire to... I felt like a very strong, like, need, because of, like, the type of videos we do, and, like, the reputation I've kind of given myself, I feel, to at least prove that I could do something comparable to Spiff, or something, you know? With the full understanding that Spiff knows way more about Skyrim than I ever will. But I was relying on my knowledge of how multiplayer functions after, like, several months of doing it full time to be what would give me my edge. Yeah, no, Jabbo and Spiff. Yeah, Jabbo, we got, by the way, like, you know, I had my explanation for how I met Juve, and Spiff, I met Spiff through them commenting on one of, I think it was 4 Hunters. But, you know, that's about that. Yeah, sorry, I'm, like, short-circuiting for some reason. But yeah, then I met Spiffing Brit through commenting on the 4 Hunters video, and then I emailed him, and then we talked from there. Jabbo, I just emailed him, and then he responded. Sick, you know. Jabbo's been very fun to do videos with. Everyone has. I'm not trying to give anyone specific, like, just in general, because it brought up in chat, like, yeah, no, everyone that's done these has been very awesome to work with in the video making department. Not naming any specifics, but I do want to stab some people who like to send me videos in chunks of, like, 21 separate parts, because it's really, really hard to then make it go back to being in time with everything else. Not naming any names, you know who you are, I'm gonna find you. I have a genuine question of what Willow actually did to become so viable. He was farming for so long, but what build did he do? I don't even fucking know, dude. Like, Willow, he started farming for, like, a really long time, and I saw, like, he got some, I think he got other items from other players, and then just had some magic and then he was just part of the team. You know, I don't think he really like built like his own kit, if I'm remembering correctly, because I edited this video a long time ago. No, he does. Willow does do Skyrim as well. Yeah, no, dude, Willow confused the fuck out of me too, genuinely. Also insane that I haven't mentioned this at all, but like, super awesome meeting, you know, Just Meeks through the Hunger Games and stuff. Unironically, love that guy. He has been super awesome doing, you know, streams and videos with. I don't know, which just he clicked with our humor so instantly that you know, definitely one of our favorite people to do like any collabs or anything with. Wish that guy nothing but the best. Zeke as well. Zeke's been awesome. I mean, again, everyone's been awesome, but you know, special shout out to Just Meeks because of how much we've done stuff together at this point. Initially, I was so hyped to see what was in my mind, Christian versus Spiffing Brit. Then watching Spiff's POV, he just seemed more annoyed than anything. I think he started being the Skyrim guy. I mean, I would be too if I was him to an extent. Like, I don't blame him. It's not surprising to me that at the end of, you know, the Skyrim Hunger Games 3, it turned into like 3 people who were functionally unkillable, you know? Like that's not surprising to me. But no, I mean, he was fun to like record with. I mean, he was very kind, very nice. The times that I have messaged with the Spiffing Brit, he's been nothing but nice and you know, complimenting and a very nice guy. I don't have anything mean to say about anyone. Just yeah, it's very interesting. Like from the perspective of a small YouTuber doing videos with people so big, you know, because that's something that I genuinely feel like we've cracked the code on more than most people, even like channels bigger than us, is that all you need to do to get collabs is just message them. Like, creators are so much more willing and interested in doing collabs than you'll ever realize or think. They're just never asked because people usually are like, oh no, like the Spiffing Brit, he has, I don't even remember exactly the subcount. I'm gonna say 4 million, even though that's probably wrong, lower probably, but like, yeah, it has like 4 million, you know, subscribers. He's not gonna respond to me, you know. And like Juve and Jabbo having over 500k, like why would they ever want to do a collab with me? No, everyone's down. They're all still people that are down to do things. Like whenever you put people on a pedestal, you sort of forget that they're also in it for the love of making content. So it doesn't matter if your channel's massive. It, you know, if you have like work to show that you make the videos that you want to make with the people, it's pretty easy to get those collabs. Obviously not for everyone, but you know, like just a simple message, talking to them, like, you know, because they're just regular people, like, you know, you and me, it's pretty fine. It's pretty easy. If only you got the boots of alacrity from Gunkelstein's Cairn, like Juve mentioned, and you could easily won. Exactly! That was one of the funniest fucking jokes in that whole video to me. That was, like, actually unironically really fucking funny. Now, I know you'd claim not to be, but if you were a furry, what animal would you want to be? I'm, you see, like, I could answer this in the most, like, innocent, kind way possible. I'm unironically terrified of what people will do with information of me answering a question like that. I'm going to have to pass. Yeah. But yeah. No, it was fun teaming with Juve. It was fun Yeah. The only thing I wish, like, that I wish I could change about this was, like, dude, the stress of editing a Hunger Games knowing the end of it comes down to a fucking foot race that's, like, the most anticlimactic ending possible for a video. I was terrified to upload this video, you know? Because, no, that's a big one, especially whenever it's like videos like this that are so big for us. Just actually terrifying. Also, yeah, no, I mean, I don't really have anything to say about the build I did or thought process. Just yeah. Another one that I definitely try-harded crazy style because of, you know, the spiffing Brit being in it and me feeling a need to do really well. But yeah, that's about it for that. Unless anyone has any specific questions about Hunger Games or anything, I think that's really the majority of what I can say about, like, the Hunger Games as a series. Like, yeah, another one's gonna come eventually. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. It's not gonna be released till next year. The recording hasn't even been done yet. It's hard enough to schedule it. Hold on. I gotta respond. Alright. So I had to respond to a text message for the recording later today. The video that we're recording required me to have to do some mod making, which, that, has some scuffed parts to it. Alright. Okay, so let me turn this back on. Not really. I could have kept this on most of it. I'm a professional, I swear. Alright. So, we'll go through, what video next would like go through? Obviously, this is fine enough time for you to do. Okay, Meegs, I see you making your own mods. Dude, I am no Meegs. We've tried, dude, it's so annoying. We've tried, we tried for like 2 weeks to do a stream for Meegs that was like getting his mods that he makes working in Skyrim multiplayer, and for some reason his mods don't work for other people. Unless he's fixed that since then. We haven't, it's been like a few months since we tested it, but like 2 weeks of trying to get, like, I think it was every time that you hit somebody they turned into a bomb, trying to get that to work in multiplayer or for everyone, it just doesn't work. It's really upsetting. Anyway, of videos that we could go through, I mean, we could go through, you know, Fall Guys, Skyrim. We can go through Skymon. That'd be a bit of a short segment, but, you know, do whatever. Honestly. I'm mainly going through, like, you know, big things, mainstays. I think I asked before, but in Skymon, what's the point of the Summon mods? It's to actually have the, like, the challenge of catching them, you know? Like, so that way it adds to it in having, like, capture footage, strategizing in your time frame to get to the creature you're trying to capture. Like, the console commanding isn't really, like, bothersome to me. It's just, you know, like, obviously, yeah, I wish it worked, like, actually, but, you know. Beyond a Vanheim or Dunderhead's follower mod, what other mods would you like to see created? I would love to death to see more mods that are like patch mods for Skyrim multiplayer. Because we have some to help it function better, but like, because there's people who make Skyrim together mods that are just patches to already existing issues in the mod and stuff like that, and I'd love to see like a finished mod pack that makes Skyrim multiplayer, at the very least. I really, really want functioning melee hitboxes. There's nothing I want more. If we could get that in followers, those two things, we'd be able to do so much more in Skyrim multiplayer content-wise. Those two limitations, like followers and summons, don't work, and melee hitboxes suck. I wish we got patch mods for that. Alright, so we're going over SkyMod. Alright, we'll see how much I have to say about this. Obviously, we're gonna start with the first one. The first one, crazy. I remember editing this whenever I was in college still, because I really wanted to get the video out while like the ball was rolling and we were doing well, and I was still in college. And Poisons, yeah, Poisons would be a huge one, but if I had to choose between like melee hitboxes, followers / summons, and Poisons, like Poisons would be third for that, but Poisons is definitely up there. But no, I vividly remember like editing this fucking video like in college between my classes, like non-stop. Genuinely, the early Skyrim content, it was like a never-ending grind in terms of the editing. It was a lot of work with college to balance around it. It's a lot easier and a lot more manageable to do videos whenever you're doing it full time. It also helped that, so during the early years of early quotation marks, the early Skyrim years of Dunderheads, I was doing this college, and I also had a job. Luckily, the job I was doing was an escape room, so I was capable and able to edit while like GMing people's rooms. So I was able to multitask, but it was still like it's hard to focus on all those things at once, and I did that for several months. But it's very interesting watching these old videos, because I was doing all of that, and I was so focused on making sure I got everything done. I can very, very vividly remember where I was sitting when I was editing, especially Skymon, where I was whenever I was editing the first few manhunts, where I was sitting during editing like the race and stuff like that. It was an interesting time, to say the least. A very busy time. But I know I mainly wanted to do Skymon because a lot of people like to watch NPC battles. That, especially me, I was a big fan of watching NPC battles as a kid. Especially in Skyrim. I feel like Skyrim had a particularly strong NPC battle like fan base for some reason. I couldn't even tell you why. And mixing that with, you know, multiplayer and like a strategic capturing plan in Skymon was a fun and, you know, good idea to do. So that's why we ended up doing the first one. The first one did end the best in my opinion, just Ulfric tying with the dragon and coming back at the end. We're never topping that. I'm so serious. It's not being topped. That whew, God. I don't it's because we don't script our videos. So like things like that happening like on a genuine level is so rare. Like wow. A more balanced PvP fighting would be great. It must be frustrating being so limited. Oh, it is. It's really hard to come up with new challenge videos whenever you are limited to. When you are limited so much. In a lot of regards. It's hard to talk about like Skymon in particular as a whole because like the editing is pretty simple, you know? Like it wasn't really hard. I mean, Sarah has gone above and beyond what I ever did with Skymon. I only edited this first one, and then after the first one, Sarah did the rest. Because while it wasn't hard to edit Skymon, it was tedious, you know? So. Aside from Ulfric Stormcloak and your champion Lurker, what would you say is your favorite Mon that you've caught? Unironically, my favorite is my Lurker, but not counting those. Like the funny joke answer would be like Lord Tusk. I guess maybe Lord Tusk. I like giving spotlights to Lord Tusk because he is unironically my favorite. It's like secret boss that people forget about, so I like giving a spotlight to him because I genuinely no one talks about him because there's no point in talking about him, but he's funny. He's silly to me. Is that guy still commenting Skymon? No, I haven't seen a comment from him in months. He ended the last Skymon with saying like we ruined the soul of Skymon because it was modded and we didn't catch a Mirac, so the series is ruined. Which is really that's funny to me. But yeah, capturing wise, I mean it's pretty simple. I know that we like released like some extra battles in the
Ulfric, fuck him up, dude. Badass, dude. Ulfric, chill.
wow, sorry, my brain's it had such a hard time like talking while like listening or watching something sometimes. We've like released extra battles for members content. I would love to release more members content if it wasn't visibly seen by non-members. It makes it so fucking ugly. I hate it. I hate it so much. Because like no shit, the members content is going to be a little bit less effort than like the videos that are drawing people into your channel to give you a living. So like having like this like drawn thumbnail, right? And then next to it is this shit ass thumbnail that I made with a video that's like 5 minutes long that says members only. That looks so ugly. I hate it. Oh my god. If that wasn't a thing, I 110% would do more members content. I'll never forgive YouTube for that. Like that looks so bad. It makes YouTube make you seem like an elitist asshole. Exactly. Like it looks there's no like positive to it. There's few people that are going to look at that and be like, "Oh, I'm missing out on like watching I don't know, the hunters learn how to bucket fly and you put that behind a paywall." More people are going to be like that asshole than they're going to be like, "Oh, I got to give this guy my money." You know, I don't like it. I think it's in bad taste.
What the fuck? Win or lose, I don't give a fuck. Ulfric is fucking badass.
No, this is gonna probably always be one of our most iconic moments in Skyrim. Just having Ulfric. Like, I don't know how he didn't die. I still don't know. Like, what happened? Like, they both disappeared. and then
I'm in a rock.
the Ulfric just appeared, like, randomly on that rock over there. I could not explain to you how that happened. You should do interactive members content like Jackbox, be a member and play with the Dunderheads. I've thought like I've thought about doing more doing members only streams, you know? It's a problem of finding time, genuinely. Because what we do already is a lot of time, and it's balancing in the most like honest, realistic way possible. It is like, what are we able to do because we want to do it, and what do we need to do because this is like keeping us afloat and making money for us to live, because we're still like, I'm keeping it so stacked, like, to the average, I don't know how it looks to the average person anymore. But like 50,000 subscribers and, you know, having a very awesome fan base, this is enough. Well, what we make is maybe enough money for one person to live, like, bare minimum. Like, I wouldn't even say comfortably, like, bare minimum. One person is scraping by on their finances. And we have like a team of 6 people, so we're like doing some crazy math here to make sure that we're all able to keep doing this full time until we hopefully get into a position where we're able to all be comfortable. That comes down to, you know, how long this is sustainable for, until we all get to a point that, you know, maybe we have to back up and start doing this part-time again. But I honestly really like they don't fall into the whole let me make people pay more for some emotes trap. You just have one membership, and, you know, other higher tiers are just like, oh, thank you for donating. Yeah, because I don't think many people like that. I don't think that's like, what's the way to word this? I like being honest about like the financial status of, I like being honest about how like finances are for a YouTuber and like how things are for us as a whole, and being transparent about stuff like that. But I don't like being like grubby. Like, it's kind of obvious that part of the reason we've been doing a lot more like Skyrim donation themed streams is because that's really helping us out. But I also feel bad because it's like, we need to do more non-donation themed Skyrim, you know, streams, just for like the sake of people who want to watch and have fun and not have to like pull out the fucking credit card, you know? Like, that can get annoying, and I know that can. So it's just, yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, like, I really think YouTubing as a job shouldn't be a thing, not because I want anyone to fail, but like, you are all competing for a limited resource called people's attention, which is basically fighting with TV, video games, going outside, touching grass, hanging out with friends, etc. Oh no, dude. Like, I love doing YouTube. This is, if younger me was to be told that that I've even been able to do this full time for about a year, you know, he'd think that's the coolest fucking thing ever. But I'm also like stubborn because I don't like to work for other people. So I've always wanted, YouTube or not, I've always wanted to make my own thing, whatever that would end up being. Originally, like, you know, I was just going to be a game studio. I mean, if you go to our oldest videos, we were originally like just a YouTube channel promoting our game that never fucking released, and a bunch of songs I made at the age of 16 in FL Studio. So, yeah. I know I can't give much, but that is why I donate what I can. If I could get to the point streaming and such was sustainable. I'd love to. Until then, I'll support if I can. No, I'm not even. I would never. Like, I really appreciate what you do give, and you are not obligated to do that. I understand everyone has their own struggles, and we're not special in that regard. We're just a bunch of idiots who are trying to play video games for a living right now. So we're very low on that like fucking tier list of needs. So, you know, what is given, I always have a hard time explaining like how much it is appreciated. It is wild going back through here, because yeah, this was, yeah, we started off just, man, really, all we did was upload fucking music videos there for a sec. And then we released our first mod, like we released an FNF mod. I'm still proud of it. Is it perfect? No. Is the music bangers all the way through? No, I wouldn't say that. But it was our first released game, and I think that's really cool. Same thing, like I have a super soft spot for the Mad Panther. It's far from perfect. There's bugs in that game, but it's free. So, you know, I think that evens it out. But no, like the Mad Panther is our first full finished original game and not a mod, and I think that is super cool, and I love that for that. What we're working on now is way better, you know, for as little as I can talk about it. Christian, I'm running to the store for soda. You want anything? If you can give me like some like root beer, thanks. Not a question, but I just want to thank you all for all the good content. I'm always watching them when getting a new tattoo. Helps so much. Thank you for the kind words. I'm glad that you've been enjoying the content through this whole thing. Make this a little bigger. There we go. I mean, yeah. So, I guess genuinely, because at a certain point, I don't know what all to talk about without just it being very weird. So, what is there any videos in particular you all want me to go through and talk about the process of? And if not, I'm down to answer like a few more, you know, like just questions that are general, you know, overall about the channel, hitting 50K, the future of things or whatnot. And then honestly, I'm probably not far from wrapping up this stream in particular, but I don't know if I'm making well, I don't know if my brain is making this up, but I swear I saw your old Minecraft YouTube channel when I was younger. If you did, that'd be very impressive. With all like 7 of my subscribers at the age of 8 that I had. I'm not showing that fucking account on stream. I will not be going through that account. Yeah. Also, any questions that you have for Cole and Jack, we'll end up doing a Q&A probably next week in honor of 50K. So, you know. I was mainly wanting to do this to just talk about and going over, like, the editing of things. I've wanted to talk about, like, my mind state with, like, Hunger Games at some point, just in general, to have that, like, publicly out there. Like, just talking about my personal thoughts on things, because I've edited most of the videos on the channel by proxy of me editing for 4 months before Sarah joined, and that's it. So, having mainly editing things to say or events that I've been a part of to talk about, you know, this would be a good opportunity for that, instead of having generalized questions. What games are on your personal radar for the future if you can get the traction? I wish we could do Baldur's Gate videos. I don't know, like, there's not a particular thing I have in mind. Like, I know at some point I want to make a video that's like a recap of all of the Subnautica series. And I don't... You know, if we could ever be in a position where we can literally just upload any game and it's us, like, just playing it You know, that'd be pretty sweet, you know. And it doing fine enough for us to be fine. What's next in the way of gameplay together-wise? I hope for your sanity and enjoyment of gaming, you're gonna switch to another game. Like, we have a few things, like, what we're gonna end up doing is just keep doing Skyrim and then sprinkling in other games and see what sticks. Like how we made a Peak video. It did very well. The next one did about average, and then, you know, Peak has outlived its shelf life as a game in the YouTube space. And, you know, keep doing that until maybe something sticks just as hard as Skyrim did. If there was a Fallout multiplayer mod that I'm gonna keep it a stack, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it anymore. We didn't fucking hate. Like, the New Vegas multiplayer mod sucks dick. Ever since we played that game on stream, we've become devout followers of the party leader system in regular Skyrim multiplayer, because having copies of every NPC is just about the worst way I can imagine going about making a multiplayer mode for a single player game. That's horrible. And you know, what they did is still cool. You know, I'm not saying it's not. Like, it's impressive to make a single player game multiplayer in the first place, but that's not the way I would have gone about it. What's worse, New Vegas multiplayer or Daggerfall multiplayer? In terms of, like, a multiplayer game, I do think that New Vegas multiplayer is worse. Like, we crashed more in New Vegas in comparison to Daggerfall. Like, as a game, Daggerfall's worse than New Vegas. But as a multiplayer experience, I actually didn't enjoy New Vegas more than Daggerfall, because it just crashed more. It wasn't fun because of that, you know? So, like, we streamed for like 3 hours, an hour and a half of it was, like, rejoining the game. I also want to, I also want to thank you specifically and the Dunderheads, more generally, for being genuine, approachable, making your followers feel part of the group. I can express how you guys have helped my mental health and sense of belonging. Well, I'm glad that you've been enjoying your time here. You know, there's nothing that makes me happier than to hear something like that. You know, I've always wanted to make things. I've always wanted to, you know, create things, and to hear that, you know, that people, knowing that there are people that enjoy it enough and are becoming a community out of the things that we've made, is one of the best feelings that someone can experience, genuinely. How much do we have to donate to make y'all do a New Vegas multiplayer? Dude, I cannot in good conscience set up a fucking new donation goal right after over 1,000 was just donated for us to replay Chained Together. I don't know. I'll think about it over the next month. At least like a month has got to be free from like a donation goal being like thrown out there. It's a shame. New Vegas is my favorite Fallout. I don't doubt that it's a good game. I personally, like I said, I've never actually played it beginning to end. I think there's a Fallout 3 multiplayer mod that's in beta right now. I need to look at that. But you know, if Fallout 3 worked, I'd actually be able to do, like, we could probably do a Fallout 3 manhunt, because I played a lot of all the Fallouts, I played the most Fallout 3. So I'd be able to do stuff in that for sure, if the multiplayer mod works well. I'm still hoping the Together team gets... I want an update on Oblivion Remastered multiplayer so bad, because they teased it on the Together Discord, and that would be so cool and fun to do. I'd rather have something more fun than painful to play. That's real. That's very real. I mean, there's probably only so much you can take of, like, watching people suffer in the game they're playing, which is, like, you know, Chained Together. the fucking later ascents, dude. Holy Christ. The ascents suck. We want to actually do a video on Yap Yap at some point, I guess. Like, you know, assuming that that still has enough relevance that we're able to. But, like, we've talked about doing a Yap Yap video. We had a lot of fun playing that. Genuinely. Oh, yes. Hello, Juan. I always enjoyed when just Jack was crashing and Skyrim together. That was funny in hindsight, but holy shit, dude. That was I would be in his shoes crashing out too. What are you doing? Not playing Skyrim together? Fuck. Yeah. You should try BattleBlock Theater. I've played BattleBlock Theater. I mean, we used to be behemoth content creators before we were Skyrim content creators. Genuinely. I mean, hold on. I wish Multiverses took off. We tried to be a Multiverses channel there, and then right after the Multiverses phase, Skyrim happened. But no, we did a Necromancer video, we did Pit People Tournament. Song I commissioned. Ads. It was so, dude, that was a different time. I forgot I used to like put, like, it was like ads on YouTube to like get people into a event. I forgot that was interesting, doing videos like that. And that would be the weekly upload, is just the ad for the event that's happening. Pit People Tournament, ad, Pit People Tournament, BattleBlock Theater analysis, Pit People ad, Castle Crashers video. Yeah, we did a lot of behemoth stuff. I'll just decide I kind of want to see more roleplay multiplayer focusing video series. I mean, that would probably be Baldur's Gate. If we ever get a series revolving around that game to take off, because I think still, like, this honor mode video is the worst performing video we've had on the channel in like a year. I think like all of, yeah, like even the Guilty as Sock video is on track to do better than that eventually. I think it's funny. I found you guys through a TikTok you uploaded, and now you don't upload through TikTok. That was Jack's department, and I don't blame him for not uploading on there anymore, because, like, we probably should. You know, I mean, if you found us through there, you know, people can find us through there. It's, like, such a fucking hassle, like, getting it uploaded. Like, scheduling that many videos. But on the real, we should probably do that, yes. I don't disagree. I might take over that department myself and just schedule a shitload of shorts at some point. But yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a good place to wrap it up. Call it for a quick little time-killing Q&A. Thank you all for being here. Thanks again for 50k. That's absolutely insane. That's an insane fucking number. And yeah, I mean, hope you guys all have a good rest of your day, night, whatever time it is for you. And just up with the YouTube shorts and TikTok. Yeah, that's what I would do. Because Cole does the shorts on YouTube. Thank God. I used to do them, and I used to do that mixed with the video editing, and no. I know you're becoming a TikToker unsubscribed. Valid. My bad. Oopsie. But yeah. I will see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow during the live stream, or you know, whenever the video gets released. Bye bye.